Two major wars, two different centuries, both changed the American forever. Welcome to Edo with Josh, and today we're breaking down the American Revolution and the Civil War of USA. The American Revolution happened from 1775 to 1783. It was a war between 13 American colonies and Great Britain. The colonies wanted to be free from British rule and government themselves. What were actually the causes of the American Revolution? The Britishers were taxing their colonies with giving them a voice. This was called taxation without representation. Events like the Boston Tea Party showed how angry the colonists were. These actions led to the start of the revolution. George Washington was the commander of the American Army. Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence. King George III was at that time British king. The colonies were fighting against each other for independence. The war ended in 1783 with the Treaty of Paris. The 13 colonies became free and formed the United States of America. And they formed the beginning of a brand new country, a country which would rule the whole world. Now let's go fast forward to 1803, a big year in USA's history. The United States of America bought a huge piece of land from France. It was called the Louisiana Purchase. The land stretched from the Mississippi River to the Rocky Mountains. It doubled the size of the country overnight. Thomas Jefferson, the president at that time, made the deal. He paid $15 million to France, led by Napoleon Bonaparte. France sold it because they needed money for war in Europe and they were losing control in the Americas. However, the decision of Napoleon Bonaparte led to a big disaster, and USA doubled their size overnight. Now let's talk about how the USA got Florida. In 1819, the United States of America signed a treaty with Spain. It was called the Adam-Onis Treaty, or simply the Florida Treaty. Spain agreed to give Florida to the USA. Why? Because Spain was weak and couldn't control the area anymore. In return, USA gave up its claims to parts of Texas. This treaty was important because it added Florida peacefully with no war. So Spain got 5 million in claim drop and Texas claims removed. How did the United States become so big? Let's explore the land deals, treaties, and even wars that helped the US expand from coast to coast. In 1836, Texas broke away from Mexico and became an independent country. In 1845, the US decided to add Texas as a new state. This made Mexico angry and eventually led to war. Mexican Cession. After the war with Mexico, the US won and signed the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo in 1848. Mexico gave a huge area of land to the US, including California, Arizona, Nevada, and many more. In return, the US paid 15 million. Gadsden Purchase, 1854. In 1854, the US bought a small piece of land from Mexico for 10 million. Why? To build a railroad through the southern desert. This land is now southern Arizona and New Mexico. Oregon Territory. The US and British people both claimed the Oregon Treaty Territory. In 1846, they agreed to split the land peacefully. The US got the southern part, now Oregon, Washington, Idaho. This is how US went from this to this overnight. Is how the US went from 13 colonies to 50 states. America grew through deals, treaties, wars, and purchase. Now, the final part remains Alaska. In 1867, the Alaska was bought by the US from Russia for 7.2 million. People called it Seward's Folly. They thought it was a frozen wasteland, but later gold and oil were discovered, making it a great deal. Probably Russia still regrets selling Alaska in 1867. This is the map of the United States of America after buying Alaska. See you. Guys, like, share, and subscribe. And always, thanks for watching. Prepare for your history exams, and I hope you get a 90 plus. See you.